Most people think social exhaustion is a personality flaw, or that it means you're introverted. But what's actually happening is something much more structural, and once you see it, your behavior starts to make sense.
Let's talk about something we've all probably felt but maybe couldn't put into words. You know those friendships, the ones that used to be the absolute center of your universe, but now just feel off? It can be a really painful and confusing thing to go through, but it turns out it's also a totally natural part of our own evolution. So today, we're going to dive into the science of outgrowing your friends. Okay, I want you to really think about this for a second. Picture that last catch-up with your old crew. You cleared your schedule, you were probably looking forward to it, but when you got home, how did you feel? Instead of feeling buzzed and energized, you just felt completely drained. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, I promise you, you are not alone. And this is what's so strange about it, right? You're literally surrounded by people who have known you forever, people who've seen you through thick and thin, and yet there's this weird feeling of being completely and utterly alone. So what is going on here? Why does connecting with them suddenly feel like work? Well, the first thing to get straight is that this feeling of disconnect, it is not a personal failure. It's not a sign that you're a bad friend or that they are. It's actually a sign that you're growing, that you're evolving. And it turns out there's a name for this whole process. It's called value drift. Basically, it's this idea that over time, the things that are truly important to you, your core values, what you're ambitious about, what you want your life to look like, can slowly and almost unnoticeably shift away from those of your friends. It's not one big dramatic break. It's more like a quiet, gradual parting of ways. And this is the perfect way to visualize that tension. See, on one side, you have who you were. Your friendships were built on that shared history, on those comfortable old habits. But on the other side, that's who you're becoming. A person driven by totally new ambitions, new passions, that growing space right in the middle, that's value drift in action. Okay, so it's natural. We get it. But what's the big deal? What are the consequences if we just pretend it's not happening and try to power through anyway? Well, this is where the real danger lies. It's something called identity stagnation. It's what happens when your friend group, almost always unintentionally, becomes an anchor to your past. They still see you as the person you used to be, and that makes it so much harder for you to fully step into the person you're trying to become. And this really gets to the heart of it all. The people you choose to surround yourself with should be a launch pad, you know? They should be the ones cheering you on, propelling you into your future. They shouldn't be the anchor that just keeps you comfortably stuck in the past. So that's the theory, but how does this stuff actually show up in real life? Let's break down 3 very clear, very real signs that you might be dealing with value drift and identity stagnation right now. All right, sign number 1. This is a big one, and it's something you literally feel in your body. It's the energy drain. I want you to start paying really close attention to how you feel physically and emotionally right after you hang out with certain friends. You know, the best friendships are supposed to fill your cup up. They should leave you feeling inspired, recharged. But if you consistently walk away from a hangout feeling like you need a 3-hour nap just to recover, that's a massive red flag. It's your body telling you that this connection is costing you way more energy than it's giving back. The second sign is a little more subtle, and it's something a lot of us do without even realizing it. It's that moment when you stop being yourself and you start putting on the performance. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's when you start editing yourself. You don't talk about that new book you're obsessed with or that big goal you're working on because you just know it won't land with them. So instead, you slip back into the old jokes, the old version of you. You're not actually being yourself. You're playing a character they're comfortable with. And finally, the third sign. This one isn't about how you feel. It's about what you actually talk about. Listen closely to your conversations and ask yourself if you're stuck in the rerun. Oh, we all know this one. Every single conversation, no matter where it starts, somehow ends up back in the good old days, telling the same stories from 10 years ago. And look, nostalgia is great, but if that's the only thing you can connect on, if there's no common ground in the present, it's a crystal clear sign that your paths have really diverged. Now, if you're sitting here nodding along to all of this, the most important takeaway is this. This is not about placing blame. It doesn't mean your friends are bad people, and it definitely doesn't mean you are. It's simply about having the courage to be honest about your own evolution and honor the person you are today. And please, let this sink in. Choosing to grow and choosing to surround yourself with people who see and support that growth is not a betrayal of who you were. It is a profound commitment to who you are becoming. It's a powerful act of self-respect. So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. We accept that we as individuals have to change and evolve to live a full life. So why on earth do we expect our relationships to stay frozen in time? Maybe the kindest thing we can do for ourselves, and even for them, is to allow our connections to evolve just as honestly as we are.
Decode your depth. Subscribe for advanced psychological insights into your own personality.